Is it possible to become financially free in 5 years? Or maybe we should be asking, is it possible to become financially free at all? And what even does financially free mean? Well, let's start there. Welcome to Momentum Property Education. My name is Daniel Wood. I'm one of the founders of the company. Please make sure you subscribe to our channel so that you get all the updates every single week about what's going on in the economy, interviews with amazing people like Kim Kiyosaki, Jordan Harbinger, Simon Zucci, Ben Chai, many more. And of course, updates on how to create passive income and freedom. So becoming financially free basically means that you have the freedom to choose if you're going to work or not. To have that, you have to have an income source that is not based on you actually spending time working. So if you can create a passive income, that's what we call when money comes in, when the money is working for you rather than you working for the money. If you can create a passive income stream that covers your expenses, that means you're financially secure. And then as you grow and you have more and more freedom, we call that financially free. So the question is, can you become financially free? Well, let's look at that together here. Let's go to the whiteboard and see what we can do. So let's look at it together. How do you become financially free? How do you create a passive income stream that will allow you that freedom? Well, you might have seen this before. Let's see. No, I don't mean a plus sign. This is the cash flow quadrant created by Robert and Kim Kiyosaki. So you have the E quadrant, which stands for employee. You have the S quadrant, which is for self-employed. You have the B quadrant, which is business owner, and the I quadrant, which is investor. So the way to create a passive income is done here on what you call the right side of the quadrants. All right. So on the left side, basically you're working for someone else. You're trading your time for money. You might have transitioned from employee to running your own consultancy firm, your own business, but it's still you trading your time for money. So when you take the step over here to being a business owner or an investor, where money is working for you and you're earning money, whether you go to work or not, that is where the key is. So the question is, how do we make this transfer and how can we do it in just 5 years? Well, I'm going to give you a couple examples, all right? If you want to go the business owner route, right, the B route, that basically means you create a system that will generate income for you. All right, so that could mean, for example, setting up a company and building that business until you aren't needed. You might hire a new CEO, takes over, and you can leave the company and the business runs by itself. Look at Bill Gates with Microsoft, right? He is obviously not involved in the day-to-day anymore. He's turned that over to other people. So that is a way to do it. Others could be that you build a business system that you then franchise out. You have other people that are now earning you money. So there are different ways of this, but the idea is you create a system, you create a business process that doesn't need your direct involvement to run. Okay? So that is one route to do it. And it is absolutely possible to do it in 5 years, but most great companies are built over a longer period of time. So that I don't want to say easiest, but the most common way to do it in 5 years or less is through the I quadrant, investing. And you can invest in multiple different assets. Obviously, I'm one of the founders of Momentum Property Education, so that is one of our favorites. But that's not the only type of investment you could make. So some examples. So what you could do is obviously invest in property. You could invest in stocks. You could invest in companies like startups, like venture capital. You could invest in cryptocurrencies or commodities. That could be oil, gold, silver, and so on. So let's look at together how you become financially free as an investor. So now, again, there are two ways to do this. So I'm going to show you here. All right. So here are the two options. Option one is through compounding, and option two is through the Freedom Figure Calculator. And I'm going to show you both of these methods. Now, they're both based on the same principle. Basically, that you invest capital that is either your own or that you've raised through investors, and that you put into different investments that earn you a return. Okay? Now, the question is just, how do you get to that goal? Which is the target? So the compounding route, The compounding route, we've made a whole video here on the Momentum Property Education channel about something we call momentum investing. That is using compounding. That means, for example, if you invest $100,000 for a year at 10%, after a year, you're going to have $110,000. Well, if you invest that again at 10%, now you're actually making $11,000 a profit the next one, because your 100,000 made 10,000 a profit year one. Now those 10,000 are making a return as well, meaning your rate of growth is compounding. It goes faster and faster. It becomes like this, hockey stick kind of growth where it just explodes up. That is the compounding route, where you use a certain sum of money, you do deals, and it grows. We did an analysis of this on property investing for obvious reasons why we chose property, but it works for any type of asset. If you buy one property this year, you save all the cash flow, all the money coming in from rents, and you reinvest that, as well as the fact that the property is going up in value over time, and you take that, you refinance, you use that value increase as the security against the new property. So you have the cash coming out and you have the value increase that you use for property number two. It'll take you somewhere around 4 to 5 years to get property number two. And then a little quicker to 3, 4, 5. And over 20 years, that one property has grown to 20 properties. And that's that power of compounding. The more properties you get initially, the quicker that will go and the quicker you can reach your goal. So if you have a decent amount of money, you can use that compounding, or if you're okay with it taking longer than 5 years, you can also let it take longer and it can grow. You can do the same thing with stocks. So for example, if you have stocks in Disney or Apple or Amazon or anything that pays out a dividend, every year as the value of the stock goes up and you get a dividend, you can then buy more stocks. It could be the same stock or it could be different stocks. And over time, your portfolio grows, as well as the whole thing is going up in value. So you're getting more stocks that are all going up in value, and you have that compounding effect. Just like with the properties, you have the rent, and you reinvest that rent, you now have more properties, and they all go up in value, generating you more. The value in properties, obviously, the rent is usually higher than the dividend, and as well, that you can use the property as a security to buy another one, meaning that compounding goes quicker, which is really, really fun. That's when it gets exciting. The other formula is if you have more money. So I'm going to show you the Freedom Figure Calculator. This is really exciting. Now you can use this if you're looking to raise capital or if you have the capital. So the Freedom Figure Calculator, what it does is it explains how much money you need to invest at a certain rate of return to become financially free. All right, you kept up there? Basically, if I want to be financially free, the first thing I need to know is how much money do I need? All right, so I'm going to use euros here as a round number, but you can translate this to dollars, pounds, Swedish krona, rupees, rubles, whatever currency you want. I'm going to use euros. All right, so if we use euros here, and let's say I'm happily financially free at, let's say, 4,000 euros a month. Okay, so I need 4,000 euros a month of income. So how much do I need in a year? If I take it times 12, that says I need 48,000 euros a year. Basically, if I knew that someone was going to give me a paycheck, 4,000 euros a month, every single month, I wouldn't have to go to work, right? I wouldn't have to have a job. I would just say, all right, cool. I'm done. I'm financially free. So if I know that 48,000 euros per year is what I need, if someone paid me the 1st of January, 48,000 euros, I could survive all the way to the last of December. Then I am financially free. Now, the question is, if I'm going to generate that income, how much money do I have to have invested? And that's where we come to our return on investment. So if I take 48,000 and I divide that by the return I can get. So let me explain what a return on investment is so that everyone is on the same page. Let's say I invest $100,000 or euros or pounds or any other currency. I'm investing 100,000. Now, if I invested 100,000 and I make a 10% return, that means that every year, 1/10 of what I invested will come back to me as a profit. Okay. So if I invested 100,000, I make 10% return, means I made 10,000. We could even use this if I had $100 I invested, I make a 10% return, that gives me 10, right? So $100, 10% return, $10 per year return. All right. So, and that will change. Different types of assets will have different returns. The stock market, the average of everyone in the stock market doing their very, very best to generate as high returns as possible, the average is 8 to 10% per year. In the property market, we usually get around 10% in cash flow plus the value increase, which means our total return can be somewhere between 20 and 30%. There are other assets where you can get more. There are other assets where you get less. You also have to factor in what is the volatility, right? If I have 1 year where I make 20% and then 1 year where I lose and it goes up and down, that is a dangerous return because that means when I take out money when it's crashed, so for example, if I have stocks and let's say the stocks are up high a year, great. When I sell them to pay for my bills, that's fine. But when they crash in value and I sell them at this low price, it means I have to sell more stock to pay my bills, which means when the prices go up again, the values go up again, I don't get as much value. That's why what I like doing is looking at it at a property site and looking at just the cash flow. So the value increase means that my portfolio will grow. I'm not spending that value. I'm just using the cash flow. That means over time, my cash flow will go up because I can use my current portfolio as a security to get more properties, and I grow over time. So on properties, we're looking at 10% return. So if I do that, if I divide 48,000 by 10%, how much do I need to have invested? Means I have to have invested 480K, so 480,000 euros or dollars or pounds. So if I do that, if I could somehow get 480,000 and I could get 10% per return per year, I would be making 4,000 euros per month. By using this formula, you can figure out exactly how much you need to invest in order to become financially free. Then you just go back here and you say, all right, which asset do I want to use? Do I want to invest in property? Do I want to invest in stocks, venture capital, crypto, or commodities? What is the asset I'm excited to invest in? And then you jump in deep. You learn everything there is to know. We talked a lot on this channel about KAP, the knowledge, action, people. If you can do CAP, if you can use the CAP model, learn everything you need to know about, for example, property investing. And then use the freedom figure calculator to know exactly how much you need to invest. And what's exciting is you can actually use these two together. Say you don't have the 480,000 directly. You don't want to raise it from investors. Well, start with what you have. Let it compound. Take that profit and reinvest it until you have this number and you're financially free. So it will go quicker and quicker and quicker and your portfolio will grow. That is how you become financially free in just 5 years. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you like this video, please like it. Because in addition to just showing us that you like it, you're showing YouTube that this type of videos you like, we have a partnership with Eden Reforestation Projects, and we will actually plant a tree as a thank you. So please click the like button. Anytime you like any of our YouTube videos, we go out and we plant a tree together with Eden Reforestation Project. So please hit that like button so we can plant more trees. Thank you so much for joining us. Please make sure you subscribe. You don't want to miss these videos. I hope, because we're going to be updating you on what's going on in this crazy economy. We have interviews with top experts in property, in entrepreneurship, in personal development. And of course, we talk about what does it take to reach your financial freedom figure and become financially free. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'll see you soon.